Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first Loyola Blakefield High School swim meet of the 2020-2021 season. I'm Charlie Burke,
And I'm Tim Takis.
and I'm really excited. Tim, are you excited?
I am excited.
We are starting off today with the men's 200-yard medley relay.
Yeah. This event goes in the order of backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. 4 swimmers, each swimming 2 laps of the pool or 50 yards, make up 200 yards. Should be pretty quick, should be pretty intense, and we're just waiting to get started here in a minute.
Loyola Blakefield invites you to join our Blue and Gold Community Partners Program. This program offers a direct way to support our Dons in their Blakefield experience, while also establishing a close relationship with their school and our community. For more information, please visit loyolablakefield.org/community-partners.
All right, here we go. All right. Ronan Nealis for Loyola Blakefield coming out of the water, along with Connor Morin for the backstroke. Looks at Mount St. Joe on the turn, coming up first out of the water. And Mount St. Joe is going to be first off the exchange. Jonah Stein in the water for Mount St. Joe. Ryan Snyder in the water. Tommy Hirsch in the water for Loyola as well. And then Andrew Norris in the water for Mount St. Joe. Pretty even on the turn. Mount St. Joe's falling a little bit behind with their B relay. Ryan Snyder's taking over here. Going into the fly, handing off to Ryan Brannon. He's going to touch the wall first. Loyola touches 1 and 2 with MSJ 3 and 4. Ryan Brannon in the water for Loyola, along with Ryan Clancy, Nicolo Gurry, and Joe Pennessy. Ryan Brannon kind of pulling away from the field here. Looks pretty one-sided to Loyola. See if MSJ can do anything in this last leg of freestyle to make it up. And Ben Myers hits the water for Loyola along with Will Kunkel. And Cole Height hits the water. Loyola looks like they're going to go 1-2 here, unless MSJ can pull off a miracle to get second place here. They're coming back. But I don't think it's going to be enough, Charlie.
I don't think so either, Tim.
Loyola's going to take this first event 1-2. MSJ is going to go 3 and 4.
We'd like to take a moment to recognize one of our Blue and Gold community partners. The Jesuit community of Loyola University, Maryland, shares in the mission of the Worldwide Society of Jesus. This mission includes the service of faith and the promotion of justice and dialogue with cultures and with other religions. These values characterize its commitment to the educational apostle at Loyola University, Loyola Blakefield, Cristo Rey, and at St. Ignatius Academy in Baltimore.
Next event here is 200-yard freestyle. Hunter Smith in lane 2, Matthew Lesser in lane 3, Antonio Gurry for lane 4. Those are 3 MSJ swimmers. John Coble, Cameron Shinnick, Patrick Virch, and Anthony King in 5, 6, 7, 8 for Loyola. You might be with me on Charlie for this one, but 200 free is almost the hardest event to sprint. All right, not sprint, but it's swim.
I agree, Tim. I mean, when you think about it, when you have the 50 free, that's just a sprint, and then the 100 free is just a longer sprint. And the 500, but at that point, you're pretty much swimming distance. So in the 200 free, you need to set yourself at a kind of awkward pace, if you will, for this event.
Yeah, it's really hard to get the handle of. And John Coble out here in 24.9 for Loyola, followed by Cam Shinnick in 25.2 and Antonio Gurry in 25.59. Those three out ahead between the rest of the pack. John Combs maintaining that lead through the 75 as they're coming back across the pool. Loyola's taking an early lead here. Antonio Gurry's trying to hold on, and Patrick Versch doing his best to catch him. 52.85 for Coble, 53.05 for Shinnick, 54.28 for Gurry. Those three out, still in front. Patrick Versch falling behind at 55.61. Almost 150 yards in now. These two are kind of pulling away from the pack. Looks pretty lopsided for Loyola once again. They're going to go 1-2. Antonio Gurry is going to manage to get 3. And Patrick Versch looks like he's going to get 4. Anthony King in 5th. And it looks like Matthew Lesser in 6th. Cameron Schinding's coming back on John Coble here. In the last turn, he's ahead. See if he pulls away. He's trying his best. Picking that stroke rate up. Right into the last 5 yards. And Cam Schinding's going to win the event. 149.2. Coble, 149.39. Gurry, 154.0. Verch is 157.95. King, 158.49. And then we got one more MSJ swimmer. Matthew Lesser, still coming to finish. Putting his best effort here for MSJ. And he finishes with a time of 2:15.12.
We'd like to take a moment to recognize another one of our blue and gold community partners. First National Bank is proud to be sponsor of Loyola Blakefield Athletics, home of the Dons. At FNB, we believe that our local communities are the lifeblood of the markets we serve. Our involvement with Loyola Blakefield and the athletics program are just a small way FNB gives back to local communities everywhere. Please stop by our closest branch in Towson at 1 West Pennsylvania Avenue, or visit our other branches in Baltimore, Harford, and Howard counties. You may also visit us online at www.fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC.
All right, Charlie. Next event coming up here, 200-yard IM. Same distance as the 200-yard freestyle, even more grueling. 2 laps of each stroke, butterfly backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. And we got Andrew Norris in lane 2 for MSJ, Grant Grumble in lane 3 for MSJ, Jonas Stein in lane 4 for MSJ, Ryan Snyder in lane 5 for Loyola, Tommy Hirsch in lane 6 for Loyola, Teddy McQuaid in lane 7 for Loyola, and Patrick Brand in lane 8 for Loyola. This one should be pretty close and pretty exciting. A little bit of a hiccup there on the start, but they all got off pretty clean. All right, Ryan Snyder going out to an early lead. Probably his best event. And that butterfly, he's just dominating the rest of the field. Already almost a body length ahead of everybody else. See how he does transitioning to the backstroke with Tommy Hirsch up behind him along with Jonas Stein. Everybody's pretty close into this race. Ryan Snyder still out first, 25.47 for Snyder. Almost 2 seconds ahead of anybody else in the field. Let's see if he keeps that up through the backstroke. All right, 75 turn here. Still looking pretty dominant. Lane 7, Teddy McQuaid's coming up on him a little bit on this backstroke. Let's see how this plans out. Pretty one-sided race again. Almost a body length and a half out, going to this breaststroke turn. And then MSJ in 3, Loyola in 4, and 5. MSJ in 6 and 7 for this race. Ryan Snyder pulling away now. MSJ's coming back. Loyola's trying their best to hold on to that lead. Ryan Snyder's really pulling away with it now. Just very dominant in this race over the breaststroke. MSJ's pulled back into the second position with Jonah Stein. Tommy Hirsch in third. Teddy McQuaid in fourth. Patrick Brandon really close to him, maybe in fifth. Ryan Snyder 131.2 at the turn. 136.4 for Hirsch. Almost 4 seconds ahead of that field. Ryan Snyder is just dominating this event. Pretty one-sided, Charlie.
I'd agree, Tim. Looks like we're going to be pretty close for third, fourth, and fifth place. Going to be exciting to see how this turns out.
Yeah, big sprint home to the finish here. MSJ going to try and hold on to that second place. Get the most points possible they can. Tommy Hirsch coming back really hard now trying to win that, but I don't think he's going to get there. And Loyola's going to get first, third, fourth, and fifth. MSJ is going to grab second, sixth, and seventh. Pretty exciting race there. Ryan Snyder pulled away with it. 2:00.28. It's an amazing time. Next fastest was 2:04.92. Nothing even came close to him. He dominated that one.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is another one of our community partners and the world's largest junk removal service. They provide the ordinary business of junk removal exceptional by sending a team of 2 friendly, capable pros who will do all of the removal from anywhere, inside or out. They'll finish up with a thorough broom cleanup. Up to 60% of the items they collect are donated or recycled. And if you call before 2 p.m., they guarantee same-day service within 90 minutes of your call. From one item to many truckloads, nothing is too much to ask. Stop staring at that junk pile. Call them today. They are available 7 days a week until midnight.
All right, Charlie. So the swimmers are just taking a 50 here after their swims just to cool down a little bit, give a little bit more time and separation between these events, because some of these guys will be swimming 4 events today.
Indeed.
And they'll need that. But 50 free up next. Just one big sprint. We got 2 heats of this. It's going to be really fast, and it's going to be really close between all these swimmers. All right, here we go. All the guys out pretty fast. Looking pretty even. See how this turn turns out. This can be the crucial moment of the race, is that turn. Getting that power off that wall coming out in front. Ben Myers out in front. Cole Height right next to his side, along with Will Kunkel tracking back up. And Ben Myers going to take it, 22.99. And then Height right behind him, 23.06. And Kunkel with 23.29. Loyola winning the first 3 events here, Charlie. It's still looking pretty one-sided.
Still a really close race on that 50 free.
We got one more heat of 50 free coming up. See how that turns out.
Lineup is important here because there's not many JV opportunities. It's really short time in between for all of the swimmers to recover.
Yeah, no JV this year. Less events. Less time for these guys to go stretch out, get that lactic acid out of their body, and be ready for their next event.
Exactly.
These dual meets, they can be crucially hard, and it can just wear you down if you're swimming like back-to-back events. Like if you're swimming 2 free and 2 IM right back-to-back, and there's no time in between that, you're going to be hurting when that 2 IM comes around. You just got to do your best to push through. These meets can be brutal sometimes.
I agree, Tim. Swimming is an endurance event in more ways than one.
Yeah, it's a hard sport than most people make it out to be. All right, second heat of 50 free here. And Shropshire's out to an early lead with Jake Dyer right behind him. These Loyola guys are kind of just pulling away from MSJ. Luke Shropshire at the turn, then Jeremy Plimpton. All out sprint here. They're trying their hardest. See how it comes down. Last 10 meters. Luke Shropshire into the flags and into the wall. 24.66. Second, Norris, 25.19. Plimpton, 25.68. Dyer, 25.80. All 4 Loyola swimmers going 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Pretty dominant from them.
I would agree.
Some of the younger swimmers stepping up here. Maybe they'll transfer over when they become seniors and juniors, and they'll be able to show that class in their MIA season.
I agree.
Swimmers taking a quick swim down here. Like I said, they get a 50 between everything.
Up next, either you love it or you hate it. We got the 100-yard butterfly.
Charlie, you would say this is your signature event?
I would say so, Tim. It's not for everyone, but with enough practice and dedication.
In this race, we got Ryan Brannon. He's our record holder, 48.46. That's an MIA record. Fastest to ever do it in the whole of the competition here for the MIA. Let's see what he pulls out today. Not expecting such a time, as that was done shaved and tapered and all ready for that meet, but see if he pumps something out good while he's still working hard in the middle of the season here.
We'll see. It's interesting to see how swimmers come back post-quarantine and what they've all done over COVID to try to improve their skills.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time here for us swimmers. I mean, it's been a crazy time for everybody, Charlie, and these guys are in the middle of it.
I agree.
Great hard training season in winter, just trying to do their best.
All an important part of swimming going into quarantine in general is the time management, knowing when to do dry land and whether or not you should be doing running or distance.
All right, we're going to take a short break here, and we'll be back with you when the 100 fly is coming up.
And we're back.
Hunter fly up next. Like we said, Ryan Brannon, the MIA record holder in this event. In lane 5 for Loyola. Let's see what he can do. Cam Shinnick in lane 6 for Loyola. Ryan Clancy in lane 7 and Ronan Nealis in lane 8. And we got Connor Moore in lane 4, MSJ. Nicolo Gurry, lane 3, MSJ. And Joe Pennessy, lane 2 for MSJ. See what they can kick out here. This race relies a lot on underwaters and just how far they can get out of the water, because you got to be quick on those underwaters because the fly kick goes right into the underwater kick, and if you can get that fluid motion, you're just going to come up ahead of everybody else and you're going to dominate this race. Guys look like they're going to start here pretty soon. Coming out of the underwater. Brandon out to an early lead. Almost a body length on the pack, just on that underwater. Just like I said, explosive under the water. Like nothing else. Pounding again. Coming out with the maximum distance. And he is dominating this field. Out in 23:42. 24:9 for Clancy. 25:05 for Shinnick. 25:64 for Moran. Ryan Brandon just dominating this race as they go. At the 75, almost at a body length of the half, just extending that lead. Cam Shinnick and Ryan Clancy trying to hold on to second and third here for Loyola. Let's see what MSJ can do to bring it back. Cam Shinnick looks like he's going to get second place. See if MSJ can get third. Brandon, 50:48, 2 seconds off his record. Shinnick, 53:63. Clancy, 54:61. Moran, 54:75. Those are the top four. And Loyola sweeps again, 1, 2, 3. Still very one-sided for these guys.
I'd agree, Tim. An important thing about Hunter Fly is because you do underwater kick right off the start and you're the fastest at the start of the block, it's important to utilize that first lap as best as you can. And I feel like Ryan Brandon does exactly that, using underwater for nearly half of the length.
Yeah, just absolutely dominating that field here. These guys are going to get their 50 swim down in. And then we got the Hunter free up next. Another sprint event. These swim downs are pretty crucial, Charlie.
I'd agree.
Because of COVID. They're not getting to move around the deck as they used to. They're just having to sit in their spot and let that lactic acid build up. This is really helpful for the guys, and it's doing wonders for them.
Especially like you said, Tim, especially if you have two events right next to each other. This is the only time you get to loosen up those muscles, and it's still in the pool regardless.
Yeah. Looks like they're exiting the water now. Hunter free up next. It's going to be another big race. Ben Myers out here, winner of the 50 free. Looking to go 1-2 for his events today. Trying to win them both. Patrick Verch, Max Moody, Luke Strapshire, Cole Hay, Matthew Lesser, Asher Vance, and Peter Monaco going to try and stop that. And they're off the blocks, pretty even. And 4 and 5 looking pretty even right now. Myers in height, pretty even at the 25. Still pretty even. Verch in third, Moody in fourth, Shropshire in fifth. So he's first at this turn. Myers 24.33, height 24.64. Verch 25.39, Moody 26.12, Shropshire 26.27. These 5 are breaking the pack. Myers, a little bit of a lead going to that last turn. Not a great turn by him. See if MSJ can bring it back here. He's really climbing that wake, pushing that hard. It looks like Myers going to out-touch. Myers, 50.11. Height, 50.26. Verch, 53.38. Shropshire, 54.02. Moody, 55.40. Those are the top 5. Vance, 1.005. Monaco, 101.6. And Lesser, 101.48. And those will close out the first heat of 100 free. These guys are going to get their warm down in, and then we have one more heat coming up. You know, 100 free is just one of those events, Charlie, where you just got to be in it to win it from the start. You got to have a amazing start, amazing breakout, and then you just got to get those arms and legs moving. And it's going to be grueling, but you just got to push through, and you push as hard as you can for that whole 100 yards.
I agree, Tim. And the difference between pushing hard for 50 yards and pushing through for 100 yards is quite big.
Yeah, the 100 yards, you just got to be a little bit reserved maybe on that first 25, just so you don't tire yourself out.
I agree.
And with that 50, they're not taking any breaths. They're just going one breath off the dive, and they're swimming that whole 50. But these guys on 100 free, they're breathing, and that's conserving them a little bit of energy. Second heat about to start here. All right, these guys are going off in the second heat. Pretty even from these Loyola guys. MSJ's falling a little bit behind again. It's kind of how this mint's been going. Pretty one-sided for Loyola. Looks like Stocksdale's out in front. King right behind. Daughtery trying to do his best, and Tristan right there as well. Stocksdale 25.59 at the turn. King 26.27. Daughtery 26.70. Those 3 out in front, and it looks like they're going to go 1, 2, 3 for Loyola. But that order is unknown. Anthony King doing his best to crawl back on Will Stocksdale, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. A slow turn there from both of them. But it's getting really close. Anthony King's coming back. See if he puts his head down and wins those last 10 yards. And he does. 53.6 for Anthony King, 54.01 for Stocksdale. Half a second there, just brought back on the last lap. He was behind the whole entire race. 56.61 for Daughtery, 58.56 for Wright. Those go top 4. MSJ guys coming in now. 109.12 for Smith. These are some of the JV guys. Just getting some race experience and see what they can do in their later years. Henry, 121.3, 122.15, and then the last swimmer here, 129.78 for MSJ. They're going to get their 50 warm down in, and 500 free is up next. That event is grueling, Charlie. We'll talk more about it when we're at the race, but that event is something else.
I agree, Tim. I personally have not had the burden of having to swim the 500 free, but I've heard not many good things about it.
Yeah, just pacing yourself out, trying to do the best you can. You'll see these guys doing it now, trying their best. You can't go out too hard, can't go out too soft, or you'll be lost. And all those guys will either catch you up or you'll never catch up in time.
Sounds a little bit like a longer 200 free.
Yeah.
Fidelity Business Services Group is a proud blue and gold community partner and brings its best-in-class expertise and integrated technical building services to our country's most important industries. Fidelity Building Services Group represents the leading edge of the integrated technical building services industry. They have the unique ability to ensure that a building is performing at peak efficiency under all operating conditions and to keep it that way. The expertise they bring to the table delivers extraordinary experiences to bring management and occupants alike.
All right, Charlie, these guys finishing up their swim down. We got 4 Loyola swimmers and just 2 MSJ swimmers in this 500 free. These guys are going to be feeling it through this race. You got counters down the other end. Helps the guys keep track as they do 20 lengths of the pool. Here they go. All right, let's make sure these guys pace themselves going out. You don't want to go out too hard. You don't want to do too many underwaters. That'll just tire yourself out. Pretty fluid strokes for all of them. Nobody kicking too hard. See what they come in this first 50. I'm expecting like 26, 27. 26.3 for Brannon. 26.53 for Coble. 27.46 for Plimpton, 27.50 for Gurry. Those are top 4. And these guys look like they're making a little bit of wave on the rest of the guys already. See how that turns out for them. Brandon's still out in hunt front. Not doing any kicks off his wall, just trying to conserve that energy for the later parts of the race. Going to come into the 100 here. And this could determine a lot if he went out too fast. 55.57, 56.26. They're out in pretty solid speed. 59.55 for Plimpton, 58.66 for Gurry. These guys all out pretty strong. Looks like Plimpton's falling a little bit off pace from the guys he was holding with on this first 100. And it looks like he went out a little bit too fast. Brandon keeping that nice lead through this 150. Should be around 125. 125.55, 126.53 for Coble. And Gurry at 131.1. These guys, these 2 Loyola guys really pulling away now as they're going towards the 175 mark. Brandon getting a little bit of space on Coble, but not too much. Looks like maybe half a body length, but Coble's so long, that's not even that much. You can still come back and out-touch him. At the 200 here, and a good time of 155.92, 156.89. There's some fast times to go out. 204.08 and 205.78. Those are our top 4 still. Brandon and Cole just maintaining their lead. Cole was coming a little bit back. It looks like Brandon's almost going faster on the way out, and then Cole was coming faster on the way back. And they're kind of just bouncing off each other. 226.66. 227.39 for those 2. Yeah, neither of them are looking at each other as they go down the pool towards their counties. But as they're coming back, they're looking at each other. And when you're looking at somebody, it's just a really crucial moment of the race, Charlie, just to make sure, like see where you are, especially in an event like this. You don't want
Right.
them getting out of your eye of it, like you want to get them out of your eyesight. Brandon pulling a little bit away, maybe a body length on John now at 256.71 and 258.02, almost a second and a half now, and they're 10 seconds plus on the rest of the pack here.
What makes this event exciting is that there's consequences. If you do decide to pull ahead, your stamina might come back later on and do some real damage to him.
Yeah, Patrick Brandon maintaining this body length lead as he's coming into the wall here at the 350 mark at 327.24, 328.82. Nobody's really in contention. Kobo's falling off a little bit, it's looking like. Plimpton's going to try and track down Gurry for that third position spot, but he looks like he's dying out pretty strong. Looks like he went a little bit out too fast, and he's paying for the consequences right now. That lead's been shrunken just a little bit, just above a half a body length now, extending a little bit into this turn. Brandon at the 400 at 358.24, 359.67. So these guys still under 100 pace for each of their 100s. And they are cruising along. This is the part where it's sprint. These guys are pushing all that they have for those last 100 yards, giving their all. Brandon's still pulling a little bit away from Kobo, and it looks like he's going to take this race pretty convincingly. Gurry's still in third, trying to keep those points in for Loyola. Here we go. Here's the bell for the last lap. Brandon, 428.34, 430.47. These guys putting in performances for Loyola. And Curry looks like he's going to hold on to that third spot. Plimpton looks like he's fourth. Wright looks like he's going to be fifth. And Rising looks like he's going to be sixth in this heat. Nobody's catching Brandon. He is pulling away with this race. What an effort. 4:55.78 for Brandon. Koble at 5 minute and 1/100th. And these next guys come in to finish. Those two were so far ahead from the rest of the field. Like a 20 length, 25, a whole pool length ahead of them, Charlie. Just outstanding.
Incredible.
Gurry, 5:17.28. And Plimpton's going to be around the 5:25 mark here. 5:24.00. What a performance from those two Loyola guys.
What a race.
Put it all out there. These guys can get their 50 warm down in right after Tristan finishes. It's got about 25 yards left to go.
A much needed 50 warm down too after this 500 free.
Yeah. 4:55.78 is an amazing in-season time. These guys are starting to get their warm down in. I did not expect them to pull away from the field like that. And Brandon got almost 5 seconds on Kobo, 4.5. And it didn't even look that big of a gap until that last 50, 100 yards. He just pulled it all together and really put in an impressive time.
I agree. Once you start going a minute or below on each of your 100s for the 500, that's truly amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty grueling. Guys put out a showing here for 1 and 2.
I'm excited to see where this will take them in later meets and beyond.
Yeah, these guys finishing up their warm down right now. Up next, 200 free relay. 4 guys swimming 50 free. They're all going to be sprinting, going as fast as they can. Be another big battle in the pool. Just a lot of white water. Yeah, these guys are making their way out of the pool. Should start up shortly. We got Myers, Kunkel, Clancy, and Brandon for Loyola's A relay. And we got Height, Moran, Gurry, and Gurry. 2 brothers for the MSA A relay. All right, they're off to a quick start again. We got Terrell down in lane 6. He is pushing it. He is keeping up with those guys. Never really see the B relay stay together, especially on that first leg. Let's see how he keeps it through for the rest of his relay. Pretty tight between these three. Looks like Myers and Terrell a little bit out, just like fingertips ahead. And they are going to be at 23.96, 24.07, and 24.16. MSJ just a little bit behind. But on that transition, the Loyola B falls behind. The MSJ A picks it up. They're almost even at that turn. Let's see what they can do. Coming back really hard now. Loyola's getting a little bit of separation going into this turn. Let's see what they can do. Ryan Clancy in the water. Gurry in the water. And Clancy comes up miles ahead on that underwater. It shows how much that training can do if you just push those underwaters in practice. It can make miles on your swim because it doesn't matter how fast you are above the water. If you're not fast under the water, you're never going to accomplish that much in swimming. And Loyola's got a body length lead going into Ryan Brandon. And I don't think anybody's taking away from him now. The MSJ is going to get second here. And that Loyola B is going to take third. Brandon just flying through the water for Loyola. They touch it in 131.27 and 134.25. 131.27 is pretty good, but our school record of 124.27 is not even close to being touched. Shows the miles of just being ready for a meet. These guys are super fast in their own respect, but that record almost seems untouchable. 4 of our greatest swimmers here at Loyola: Moreno, Clancy, Perry, and Buse. These guys are going to get their 50 warm down on. And we're going to be ready to start up the 100 backstroke next.
A longtime partner of Loyola Blakefield, Whiting Turner continues its work on the Innovative Learning Center. Despite COVID-19, they have stayed on schedule, and this cutting-edge space will open to students for the 2021-2022 academic year as planned. Whiting Turner has a strong presence throughout the country, but is headquartered here in Baltimore. They recognize the value in community involvement and pride themselves on familiarity with local communities and their ability to give clients the attention of a small business with their resources of a national corporation. We are grateful for their continued support of our Dons. Another exciting event coming up next year, Tim, with the 100-yard backstroke.
Yeah, pretty fast once again. Another grueling underwater event. This race can be won before they even touch the surface. And we got Ronan Nealis, Teddy McGuire, Braden Norris, and Jake Dyer for Loyola, and Connor Moran, Nicolo Gurry, Preston Shepard, and Matthew Lesser for MSJ here. Full heat. See what these guys can perform. That starts like any, it's different than any others. They don't use the block. They're in the water, and they'll pull themselves off and then push up in an arc and try and arc themselves in the water at the perfect angle just to fly through the water. All right, and they're off. Let's see where these guys come out of the water. 4 and 5 really contested. This whole race is pretty fast. Lane 6 looks like he's coming up a little bit. Pretty even at the turn for those 3 guys. Lane 3, not too far behind. So where these guys are. MSJ pulling out a little bit ahead. Moran's a little bit out. McQuaid's doing his best. And it's going to be Moran at the turn, 27.69. 27.83 for McQuaid and 28.05 for Nealis. McQuaid had an amazing underwater now. He's out in front of these guys, just a little bit ahead, maybe a quarter of a body length. He's going to flip first. Not much off those wall from any of those guys. And they're all turning the water really close from these 4. Anybody could win this one. The closest race we've had today. Lane 6, maybe lane 3. Lane 6, McQuaid, 57.28. Second, Gurry, 57.33. Nealis, 57.42. Moran, 57.56. Those are our top 4. Norris at 100.62. Shepard at 103.56. Dyer at 104.26. Some fast swims. These guys are gonna need their warm down in. And then Lesser at 111.0.
Another exciting race, 4 times within the span of a minute. Next up, we have what I would argue to be the most technique-based stroke of them all. We have the 100-yard breaststroke.
Yeah. Breaststroke's not an event where you have to churn the water. It's just, you got to get that technique. It's got to be stationed right in the water, have your hips up, and then everything else will fall into place. These guys are still getting their warm down in, taking their time.
Again, like we've been saying about underwaters, I feel like especially for breaststroke, it's crucial that you keep the underwater in place because you can't butterfly kick off at the start.
Yeah, that pull-out is like no other. You get one butterfly kick, and then you shoot your arms down, and then you pull them back up, and you're at your surface. You don't get the usual breakout like everybody else does. The stroke is so unique in its own right, and it's the most technical stroke of them all. You don't have to have fast arms or legs to be a great breaststroker, and we're going to see that here. These guys hopping out of the water, and we're getting ready for this 100 breast. You got Ryan Snyder in 5, Tommy Hirsch in 6, Nate Knapp in 7, and Ethan Doddering in 8 for Loyola. We got Jonah Stein in 4, Andrew Norris in 3, Grant Gumbel in 2, and Joe Pennessy for 1. Here they go. Just watch these guys on the underwater. So you're going to really tell who's a good breaststroker and who's not. Ryan Snyder just out. His best event by far. And he is just cruising through this water. Still ahead. He's going to come out almost a body length over Tommy Hirsch. And then the rest of the pack's pretty solid. Stein and Knapp, 3 and 4. But these Loyola guys are already pulling away. 28.94 for Snyder. 29.24. 30.63. 31.01. Those are all fast times from our top 4. Snyder just pulling away with this race, though. Hirsch in 2nd. And Stein in 3rd. Knapp in 4th. Maybe even 5th now. Norris coming back on him now, but Snyder has this race won. Hirsch is going to get 2nd. 3rd, 4th, and 5th are still up in the air. It looks like MSJ 3rd. Knapp 4th. Snyder's going to win this race. Tommy Hirsch coming up like a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. Snyder in 101.42. Hirsch 102.12. Knapp in 105.45, getting 4th, and Stein in 104.64, grabbing the 3rd spot for MSJ. Another dominant race for Loyola there, Charlie.
I'd agree.
100 backstroke's been our most exciting race by far, but let's see what this 400 freestyle relay can do. You guys are going to get their warm down in, and we're going to have a 400 freestyle relay where each swimmer swims 100 yards of free. We have the B relay and the A relay. For each team, Loyola's A relay is going to be Ryan Brandon, Ryan Snyder, Cameron Shinnick, and John Coble. Their B relay is Will Stockstill, Patrick Bannon, Max Moody, and Nate Knapp. MSJ's A is Antonio Gurry, Preston Shepard, Grant Gumbel, and Jonas Stein. And their B relay is Matthew Lesser, Asher Vance, Hunter Smith, and Wesley Rising. And we'll see what these guys can put through. These breaststrokers taking their leisurely time as some of these guys are going right over into this relay. And they're going to want as much time as they can to warm down. Pretty one-sided meet here, Charlie. See if MSJ can pull anything back on this last one.
I'd agree, Tim. We're in for a real treat here because, to me personally, it makes sense that the 400-yard freestyle relays last because I think it's a fun event to swim in, and I think it's a great event to kick off the ending of a meet, too. It's very exciting. It's a good distance to keep the audience engaged for a good amount of time.
Yeah, all these guys going fast for a pretty middle distance. As we're going to see here, it's going to really keep them in it and see what they're going to go out with. They're going to go out with a bang, or they're going to go out kind of solemnly.
Fast-paced swimming over a long period of time.
Yeah.
So much fun to watch.
Ryan Snyder and Nate Knapp, 2 swimmers that are going right back into this event. And let me tell you, they're not going to be having a fun time on this relay, putting it all out there in their last 100 breasts. Just comes from this relay. right, these guys are off. Really crucially quiet for the start. And Ryan Brandon, oh my God. A whole body length off the underwater. Miles ahead of everybody else in this field already. Looks like it's not going to be a close race from the first 30 yards. Just pulling away here. $23.71 for Ryan. 26.3 for MSJ. He is just pulling his lead. Ryan, a committed D1 swimmer to Texas. Hopefully we see more of him in college. Straight domination in the pool. MSJ in second, Loyola B in third, and MSJ B in fourth. These guys wrapping up. Ryan Brandon really wrapping up his meet well. 49.84. That is insanely fast for the end of a meet. We got Ryan Snyder in the water here for Loyola and Preston Shepard for MSJ, along with Patrick Brandon. After that 5 free, let's see what we can do for that Loyola B relay as the Loyola A relay just pulls away from the rest of the field. Patrick Brandon really trying his hardest here. Let's see if MSJ can keep his distance, but Patrick Brandon's just making way more white water than anybody else in this this pool right now. And he has gotten that lead back, and he is 121.04. Snyder was 114.51. MSJ was 121.65, just a half a second. But now Brandon is pulling away as Ryan Snyder is maintaining that lead for the Loyola A. And that Loyola B is pulling ahead of that MSJ A. As they're transitioning into Cam Shinnick, Max Moody for the Loyola 2 guys. And it looks like we got Grant Grumble for MSJ along with Hunter Smith. Loyola A just dominating this relay. Cam Shinnick keeping at that pace. Really pushing it here. They were 141.8 at the 200 mark. See what they're going to be in here. Loyola going to go 1-2, it looks like, and this is a miracle for MSJ. They're 157.45 at the turn. Just body lengths ahead. Next fastest, Loyola B, 2:15.22. These guys probably 15, 20 yards ahead of everybody else in the field right now. Just outstanding performance from these guys. And let's see what MSJ's got on this last leg as they're coming in from the 75 on their third leg. Let's see if their last leg can beat out the Loyola B and clinch some easy points. 2:33.51 for Loyola as John Coble enters the water for the last swimmer of their A relay. Max Moody going to hand off to Nate Knapp. And Grant Grumble going to hand off to Jonas Stein to see if he can make up any ground. But this relay is pretty much won for Loyola, at least in the A perspective. Let's see what these Loyola B can do. Nate Knapp really churning the water. Looks like he's not going to be caught, but John Coble, a 25 ahead of him now. It doesn't even seem fair. These Loyola guys just pushing through the competition. 2:57 for those guys. Coming in, Coble's in his last 15 meters now. Let's see if he can put up a good time. Knapp still turning second for Loyola. And Loyola is going to win at 3:24.72. Knapp's going to secure that second spot for the Loyola B. And these guys are going to finish up the race. 3:37.17 for the Loyola B, grabbing 1-2 in this event. And 3:42.51 for the MSJA. What a performance, Charlie.
I agree, Tim.
These Loyola guys really pulled it all out. And they gave it all today.
They did. This was so an exciting meet to see all in all. Everyone put out a great performance.
Yeah. Looks like Loyola's going to win this meet pretty easily, Charlie. They didn't drop a single event all meet. And it was pretty one-sided, but thank MSJ for coming out here, putting in some competition, giving these swimmers a chance to do their best and have a real high school experience for swimming.
Indeed. It's troubling to do during this COVID time, but thanks for everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And we will see you all later.